What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday, Wasted Wednesday, the hump day. It is GunzPicks, and we are the late night bangers. And this is the late night banger show that we always have every single day, Monday through Wednesday. And this is the culmination of late night bangers for this week. And let me tell you, it hasn't been a good week for me. I'm 2-7 right now, okay? 2-7 in the late night bangers after coming off an immaculate weekend. It happens to all cappers on this one. We went 2-4 yesterday, went 0-3 the day before, and I'm upset about it. I'm. It is not like me to be this bad, and I'm going to turn it around right now. Listen, I didn't put a team hat on. I had to put the Viva hat on, but when I need to turn stuff around, need to break the confidence up, I bring out the shades because these things have been electric. They have helped the show plays, and by God, I look damn good in them, don't I? Just firing shots tonight. And listen, I'm feeling good tonight. I don't have these big, extended bad days, bad beats, or whatever you want to call it. I just carry on. I keep firing because I know in the very end, if you guys have been following me for a long time, you know how I work. Longevity is the key. We don't work in short windows here, folks. We work at the long run. We manage our money. We treat everything as a unit on this show, and I sincerely hope you're doing the same when you're bankroll management. Because if you are, this should only be a dent in your bankroll. And we are going to be climbing all the way to March. Hey, it's March 1st right now. Guess what? Must be March, right? We're going to be going into conference tournaments. We have to be focused. We're going to be going into NCAA March Madness. We have to be focused. This is what we're going to be doing right now here, folks. So stay with me on this run. Join in the chat. Mooch! Let's go. I've been MIA the last few shows, but I'll be back on track. Don't worry about it, man. Listen, you are a gun disciple, and I think we should call everybody that rides with the guns as gun disciples. I'm just going to use that name. You give me a better name than that, and I will ride with that. I'll make hats. Shit, if you want to be a gun disciple. But let's go. Let's get into the plays that pay, and I'm ready to go. I got the glasses on. I'm feeling fresh. This hat makes me look absolutely electric, as they say, which I'm starting to get away from the electric thing. I hate electric. Just making me look freaking awesome. Going to the first game on the slate on this one. Let's go Penn State versus Northwestern. This is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're playing in Evanston, Illinois, the Welsh Ryan Arena. And I'm going to be going with this as my doggy of the day. And I'm going Penn State plus 4.5 on this one. Listen, Penn State is coming off one of the worst losses from losing the second half. I mean, they played Rutgers. They played it perfectly. The first half was great, and they continued that into the second half, and all of a sudden everything fell apart probably the last, 8 minutes of the game, and they just completely gave the game to Rutgers at the end as 4-point favorites. It was a pick on the Sunday show. It was supposed to hit, and I would have been 3-1 for the show on Sunday. Ended up being 2-2. Now Northwestern. This is a team that feels like there's a little bit of regression in there coming into March. Northwestern is coming off a loss on the road to Maryland. A tough place to play. I'll give them that. 75-59 as 7.5-point dogs. And they lost to Illinois the game before. So back-to-back beats for Northwestern. And quite frankly, I don't think they've put together 3 good halves. They've played the worst ball that they've played all season long. But you got to look at let's look at the stats. Let's look at KenPom for a second. Let's look at Penn State's offense. They're ranked 14th in offensive efficiency, 10th in field goal percentage, first in limiting turnovers, which is key. If you're not turning over the ball, I love teams like that. And they're 10th in 3-point percentage. So this is a team that can shoot the ball, shoot the rock. They're not a great rebounding team. I did discuss that on Sunday with them. This is a team that I think is going to be in a get-right spot that is actually playing that needs this game more than Northwestern, in my opinion. Now you got Northwestern's defense. They're ranked 24th in defensive efficiency, 79th in defending shots, and 167th in defending 3-point shots. So those stats right there, I think, granted, Northwestern does have an efficient defense. I think there's going to be a little bit outmatched on this one from Penn State's side because they just can make their shots no matter what. Uh, Now we go to the offensive side for Northwestern. They're 94th in offensive efficiency, 313th in field goal percentage, 200th in offensive rebounds, 289th in 3-point percentage, and 303rd in 2-point percentage. Now, this is a team that can't shoot and they can't rebound on the offensive end. They pretty much rely heavily on the defense. But when you're playing a Penn State offense that can really score on you, that's a tough spot to be in my opinion. Now you look at the Penn State defense. They're kind of middle of the road, but like when I just gave you some good stats on Northwestern, I don't think it really matters here. But 142nd in defensive efficiency, 153rd in defending shots, and 31st in defensive rebounds. So second chance opportunities for Northwestern are going to be very difficult versus this Penn State team in a spot where I think it's coming off that game at home. They're going to be perfect in a get right spot here. Now Penn State is sitting 12 losses. They need this game. This is trying to keep them into the tournament talk, and they're going to have to carry this on into the Big Ten tournament. So this is a team that we probably need to be watching here, and we need to watch this game in particular because if they lose this game, I don't know if Penn State's going to be playing up to that level. I think they're going to be kind of going to the NIT, and Penn State wants to be mentioned at the very least in the bubble conversation. So I think it's going to be a Penn State type of play. Give me Penn State plus 4.5. Doggy of the day. All right, man. We got 2 more plays for you today, but 7 of you are joining me right now, even during my losing streak. I consider you gun disciples. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you don't, it's the first time you're watching. And also on Twitter if you're watching. Why aren't you in the YouTube? If you're sending comments in Twitter, guess what? I don't see them because the way the StreamYard works, it only works on YouTube. So if you want to get in the comments, please get into YouTube and come hang with us and subscribe to the channel. All right. Now we're moving into the Big 12 on this one. This is a great matchup here. The Battle of Texas, as they say. Texas versus TCU, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're playing in Fort Worth, Texas. And I'm going to be going with TCU on this one, minus 3.5 as a play. Listen, both teams are coming off. Texas is coming off a road loss versus Baylor. They're 1-4 straight up in their last 5 road games. So this is a team that doesn't travel well, at least as of late. But TCU is 2-1 straight up in ATS since getting Miles back into the lineup, but their only loss was against a Kansas team that is playing out of their minds right now going into March. Kansas is a team to watch, in my opinion. If you're setting up your brackets or something like that, let's see what Kansas does going into conference tournament play, and let's see where they're seated. That's going to be a team to watch, in my opinion. A lot of the Blue Bloods are going to end up going further into the tournament as you're seeing them light up. UNC, Duke, Kansas. Marquette's doing some damage as well. So there's a lot of teams in there that are heating up at the right opportunities. Now let's look at the stats on this one. Very evenly matched up here. Texas offense is ranked 15th in offensive efficiency, 41st in field goal percentage, 154th in 3-point percentage, 168th in offensive rebounding. Now TCU's defense is actually really good. 20th in defensive efficiency, 58th in defending shots, and 287th in defensive rebounding. So if there is an edge on this one, is trying to keep Texas's offense off the boards, which is going to be a challenge for TCU. But when I look at the line delineation, we'll get to that into a second. I can't ignore TCU in this spot. Now, when we look at the TCU offense, they're 49th in offensive efficiency, 180th in field goal percentage, and 58th in offensive rebounding, while Texas is 27th in defensive efficiency, 93rd in defending shots, 212th in defensive rebounds. I think the key factor in this one, I think TCU is going to be able to get second chance opportunities with their offense. And I think a lot of these stats are skewed because they didn't have Miles in the lineup for probably like 6 games. So that really killed that team because I think they went 1-5 straight up when Miles was not in the lineup. He is fresh for this game. Also, these teams did play each other already. They played each other January 11th, and Texas won the game 79-75 as 6-point favorites. Now the line is completely flipped in a 9.5-point swing with TCU favored 3.5. I got them at 3.5 on this one. Last home game for TCU as well. So it's senior day. You don't want to lose on senior day, of course. That is a big portion. It doesn't matter if there's seniors on the team. It matters to just do it for seniors, because obviously it doesn't matter if they're bench players. Doesn't matter if they're starters. You want to play up for your seniors on senior day at home, and I think they're going to do it right here on this game versus Texas, a high-ranked opponent, and they're a dog, versus the number 22 team in the country in TCU at home. And TCU has covered the last 3 matchups as well, and Texas is 1-4 against the spread, like I said, in their last 5 road games. So all that being said, all the statistics applied, we're rolling with TCU minus 3.5 as the play. All right, now we're moving across the board. We're moving into the late night degenerate special, and we're going to Utah State and UNLV, Thomas and Mack Center, Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm telling you, I've been in the Thomas Mack Center, and my God, it is a great arena to be in. And I've seen not only UNLV home games, I've also seen the Mountain West Conference Championships played in there, and it is a fun time. They're playing at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this one, and listen, call me a square, but I'm going to be square on this one because I think Utah State needs this game more than UNLV does. Give me Utah State minus 3.5 as a play. Listen, Utah State's flying high right now. They got 3 straight wins, 3-0 against the spread in that span. Now you have UNLV on this one. They've lost 3 out of the last 4, 1-3 against the spread in that span. So I look at teams in small windows and I try to pick out the components. It doesn't matter what the market's doing right now. And actually, if you actually look at the line swing, the line is actually moving in the direction of Utah State as of late. Let's break down the statistical analytics per KenPom. 17th in offense, Utah State 17th in offensive efficiency, 13th in field goal percentage, 8th in 3-point percentage, 228th in offensive rebounding, 228th in I just repeated the same one. All right, so what you have is you have a good offense that can make their shots. They're not a good rebounder, second chance opportunity team, but they're playing UNLV defense that's ranked 69th in defensive efficiency, 260th in defending shots, 307th in defensive rebounds. Key component there. So Utah State's probably going to get to the boards a little bit quicker than UNLV, and UNLV right now has been playing well. So now you got to look at UNLV's offense on this one. 118th in offensive efficiency, 229th in field goal percentage, 220th in offensive rebounding, and 143rd in free throw percentage. Now you look at the Utah State defense. They're ranked 90th in defensive efficiency, 91st in defending shots, 20th in defensive rebounding. They do allow teams to get to the line, but so does UNLV. And there's another key component on this one is Utah State can make their free throws, whereas UNLV is a little bit down the board, middle of the road as far as making their free throws. So I like teams that can make their free throws. Utah State can. Also, look at this stat here. Utah State is 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games. UNLV is 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 home games. And Utah State is actually playing for something. They are on the back half of the bubble here. I think it's the first 4 out I saw Utah State. So this is a team that needs to get the W's to get up into contention, at least on the bubble. Granted, they could win the Mountain West, but however, that if they want to just get in by their resume, they have some work to do. And I think it starts tonight versus UNLV on the road. Give me Utah State minus 3.5, 1 unit special. As we go to the chat, I want to make sure I give shout outs here. I already talked to Mooch, and Mooch says, make some GunzPicks buy hats merch. I'm on it now. I'm on it. I just came up with that name in my head the other day, and I was like, that sounds really cool. Yeah, buddy. Horned Frogs, they say. K Slater is on them as well. Let's go. Patrick, what's going on, buddy? Hey, Gun. Hey, what's up, my man? Let's go. Bet that with Jay. He says, Guns! Give him a boom on that one. All right. Now we're going to go. Belena says, Texas also 1-4 as a dog this year. Yeah, it's one of those teams that I just can't really follow on that one. And Texas on the road, too, is just like a lot of people like Texas overall to go and make a run at the tournament. I just haven't seen it yet. Maybe we'll see it in conference tournament play. I just don't think we're going to see it here with TCU. I mean, TCU is one of those sleeping giants that could really make a run here, too. and perhaps carry it into the Big 12. However, everything happens differently once you get into March Madness. Most of these guys have, 4 or 5 days off, and you don't know how they're going to come out into neutral sites if there's going to be nervousness there. But I understand where you're coming from there, Michael. And I mean, man, let's go into what we call best bet. Everybody says they want my best bet tonight, and guess what? My best bet tonight is going to be TCU minus 3.5. I think it clicks more boxes for me tonight. You have the revenge factor. You have the line movement going in a 9.5 point swing. You have Miles back. You have the team healthy. And Texas on the road is just not backable, in my opinion. So TCU is the spot. I love them at minus 3.5, and I think they get it done easily here. And give me TCU. But thank you guys for supporting the channel. I love you guys so much. And the chat's still moving. Man, yo, what up? Oh, your boy. What's going on, my friend? All right, that's going to do it for the late night bangers on the Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going to do Dad Bodge. We have special guests on this one. We're actually collabing with a notable podcast that people need to know that I caught wind of probably a couple months ago, and I want to get these guys on and talk. So please join us for that. We're going to talk everything conference tournaments. We're going to bring in futures, and we're also going to give you Thursday late night bangers on the show. It's going to be an absolutely fun and fire show. I can't wait for it. And also, we're going to be doing Breaking Ankles on Friday nights at 11 p.m. So join me for that. And then Saturday, we're going to bring you the afternoon show with me and the Dab. And we're going to do it on Sunday and bring it back. And we're going to absolutely kill the card like we did last week. So please join us for everything that comes on this channel. Like, subscribe, and make sure you support us. Comment. It gets us into the motion and allows people to find the sports wagering network. So thank you guys for coming in on this day. Listen, we have 2 plays that tip off in 10 minutes. Get your bets in. We're on TCU. We're on Penn State plus 4.5, and we're on Utah State minus 3.5. So let's cash some tickets. Let's dominate the board. And as always, let's keep dancing. Bang!